everyone, and welcome to the doomtombpodcast. My name is Chris. I am your host. Today is part 2 with the band Wizzerd. Now, I know there's no introduction needed because you all heard about it from part 1, so I think we're going to get right into it. They still go further. They go deeper into the track-by-track discussion. We talk a little Douglas Adams, a little Arthur C. Clarke. We talk about Black Magick Studios, Danny Trejo, Dave Mustaine, Seth Rogen. What the hell does that have anything to do with the podcast? You'll find out when you listen. And it was just such a great time. Thank you to everybody in Wizzerd. You guys really know how to give a great interview. Thank you so much for your time. Can't wait to see what you have coming up next. Please come back, and we can't wait to see you on the next tour. Until that time, here, check out part 2 of the interview with the band Wizzerd.
There you have it. Perfect. Okay, so let's go on to the next, which would be Phoenix. That's you. And you were saying, so you weren't there for this, or?
Yeah, see, Phoenix kind of happened back when we were in high school, and we were a fresh band, and we just kind of played together for fun and stuff. We kind of had a moment where we got in a fight, and I cussed the other guys out. I was a little bit of an asshole.
Okay.
And I flared up on him, and I stormed out of the room.
I believe the quote was, none of you guys are fucking musicians, fuck you.
And then he stormed out.
Yeah, and then
And that was it.
I slammed the door and I left. And while I was gone,
yes,
presumably getting Taco Bell or something, these guys wrote a song. They wrote down the lyrics and wrote the riffs. And I came back after I cooled down a little bit later, and we had a finished song. I just kind of followed them along. And the Phoenix, that's why that became my character. I guess I kind of flare up with anger, and I get pretty pissed off. So they made that song about me, and that became my character.
Is that? Do you get your aggressions out by playing?
Hell yes. That's why I pound the fuck out of my drum set.
Now, are there any really cheesy or bad drummer jokes that you know?
I'd say any joke about Lars Ulrich. He's probably the fucking shittiest drummer that's professional that I've ever seen. I don't know.
I only know of one.
What's that?
How do you know that the drum riser is even? Because the drool comes out of both sides of your mouth?
Fuck yeah, dude. Yeah, no, I kind of have a little bit of cognitive dissonance going on because the drummer is definitely the stupidest one in the band, but I'm also the leader of the goddamn band, so.
Yeah.
Well, there you have it.
Yeah.
So
he says.
Wraith.
Yes, Wraith. So Randy would be here to talk about this, but Wraith essentially is the spirit. When the Doom Child ascends in the first album, it kind of splits off.
Right.
So he becomes this husk. Well, his body is left behind, and it becomes this husk, which we have. What was like the hollow or some? Or we're going to call it the husk or some shit like that. But in this process, there is a crystal. There's like this all crystal that is essentially the heart of this earth, and that's where all this magic comes from. So there are 4 major shards of this crystal, or that come from this crystal, that carry the totems of the warrior, the dragon, the wizard, and the phoenix.
Right.
And the watcher of these 4, who has to watch, because when the Doom Child dies and ascends, the universe essentially spiderwebs.
Okay.
And turns into all of these different alternate realities. And the Wraith is the one who is watching over every single one of these alternate realities in which these crystals exist. So he is maintaining balance and making sure that each storyline essentially has its proper end. And his goal is to watch over the crystals and to watch over the other 4. So he is the embodiment of spirit itself.
Wow.
Even within the third album, we were kind of toying around with the idea, which of course we're still writing, but we were kind of toying around with the idea in the concept of kind of having our characters be anti-heroes in this multiverse sort of thing. And I mean, yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I'd say we take a lot of influence from Douglas Adams, if you know Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Yes, I do.
And things like Arthur C. Clarke, and just a lot of sci-fi influence and fantasy. And we kind of have a multiverse with our albums. And our second album, Wizzerd, the self-titled one, is kind of the first one to take place in this multiverse. It's the first split after the Doom Child. And then our third album is kind of the last one. It's almost like billions of years later, and we're kind of closing out this concept universe that has, you know, an unlimited amount of parallel universes that have different stories. And, you know, every universe has each of us as a character.
Right.
And we represent, you know, the 5 elements of reality: earth, air, fire, water, and consciousness. And and it's kind of like use my words, yeah.
Sam lost it.
It's all right. You were on a tear. You had it.
Of
You had
course. Sam gets to rambling, but yeah.
That's okay. I think we cleared it.
Yeah.
I think we got clear. And what about the last track? Wizzerd. Wizzerd. That one's about our antagonist. The album cover for our second album is
That's on the back.
oh
That one.
so we have 5 elements
Yes.
on the front of the album, each of them representing our characters.
Right.
They're arranged in a pentagram representing each point of the pentagram is an element, one of the classical elements. And the 6th character is the Wizzerd.
I actually have that shirt.
Yeah, on the back there, he's wearing the crystal, which gives him his power, which, you know, hopefully will be put into a book that we make eventually. But he's the antagonist, and the song is kind of from his perspective, saying, I am the wizard, my magic knows no bounds. And he's ruled over our universe that we made.
Right.
And our characters come together and defeat him to bring balance to the universe, essentially. And being the antagonist, we kind of named our band after him because we figure we play doom metal, and in the story, the wizard dooms everyone, which essentially turns them into zombies, and we are bringing the doom when we play shows. So everyone that listens to our music is the doomed, just the same as in our story.
Yeah, it's also worth noting that Wizzerd is kind of a very, very early written track. It was, I believe, like the 3rd or 4th song we wrote. It was before Doom Child was even finished. It was when we wrote Wizzerd. And it was really hard for us to not put it on the first album or even release it that early because it was just so well done. I think the first show that we ever played, it was what was it, Food Stock? Is that what it was called? So we
What was
did this,
that?
we did this like little food drive concert,
Oh,
and
right
that was
on.
the first at a barbershop,
Okay.
a little place called Shorty's, and we had the entirety of Doom Child was written. And then we had Wizzerd that we had just done like right before that was all done, and we were like, okay, should we play this? Like, oh, I don't know if we should throw it in there. It's not ready yet. So it turns out we were the first band to play. We played a 35-minute set, and we were the shortest set of the night, and we totally could have played that last song, but we just chose not to. It was a really early song, really early into our development, and we had that song written at the same time all of Doom Child was done.
Right. Well, hey, you know, next time
Next time.
Yeah, there's always another
But
time.
now-
there's always another.
now-
What is it? What was this stock called? Food stock.
Food stock.
There's always another food stock.
2016. Food stock 2016. Yeah, but now because of that, and I think it's like a subconscious thing, we always close with Wizzerd. Always.
There you go.
It's a great closing track.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, so you did this remastering, and it was Black Magick Studios.
Black Magick Studios.
Okay, ICK.
Yes.
Yes, I talked to what's the keyboard?
Randall.
I talked to him last time, and he was mentioning it, talking about like he was getting it together.
Yes.
So I just want to talk just a little bit briefly about that. So tell me, like, obviously you're using the studio for yourselves.
Yes.
Are you having other bands come over?
Absolutely. Randall is usually books himself out 3 weeks in advance.
Right.
And he has almost every single local band is going out there. Solo artists are going out there. Acoustic artists are playing. He's recording pretty much anybody who wants to come in and get a decent recording for relatively cheap, because we're all not super duper experienced when it comes to engineering and recording and all that business, but Randall does know quite a bit, and he definitely has the equipment, and we're all right in the center of town, so it's like a perfect spot for all these people to come in and just record, have a fun time. There's like all the amenities they could possibly need are a stone's throw away.
That was going to be my next thing. It's like, sell it.
Yeah.
What do you got there?
Absolutely.
It's in a perfect spot.
It's in a perfect spot. It's inexpensive. And he works with you. He's not a type of producer that'll say, well, sometimes he'll say, this is how I do it, this is how it needs to be done. But for the most part, he will work with you and, work with what you want and, make you sound the way you want to sound.
Cool. That works. All right. So just a few quick questions. Every once in a while I like to ask this. Do you ever play covers live?
Oh, yeah. Sometimes. It kind of just depends. More recently, we've been playing a cover of Forever My Queen, Pentagram song.
Yep.
Just because we did a recording with Cody from Slow Season over at Visalia, California, at his studio, Double Wild. It's called the
Double Wide,
which is literally just his house.
Wow.
It's a Double Wild trailer.
Okay.
And he records reel to reel, so we did that on tape. So we did one song and one cover.
Okay.
And we did Forest just because it was the first song that we'd ever written, and we thought that would be really cool to have on tape, and it sounds so fucking good. And then we decided to do a cover, and we did Forever My Queen, and it sounded so fucking good that we were like, why don't we just take this on the road and play it more? So we'll sometimes do that. We've done Sleep. We've done Kyuss. We've done Sabbath. We actually we had a Halloween show where we were Wax Sabbath. And we were Wizzerd is all Black Sabbath. And
you could have Wax Sabbath and Max Sabbath
Yeah,
and
exactly.
There's a band
Zach
coming.
Sabbath.
There's
which is Zach
one
Wild.
coming here which is Slack Babbitt.
Slack Babbitt. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, Slack Babbitt. I've heard of them. But yeah, we did it. We did a night where we played like 8 or 9 Sabbath covers, and we played a full set of ours right after. But yeah, we try to do covers as little as we normally would want to, just because we want to showcase our original stuff more so.
Right.
But there's a reason we play covers, and we play somewhat obscure covers just to kind of have fun and show people this is what we listen to. These are our roots too.
Sure.
We all listen to the same fucking music, man. That's why we're doing what we do, man. That's why we do what we love.
Okay, so I ask this every once in a while. So there's a movie coming out, and the band, it's the Wizzerd movie, the band movie.
Okay.
Who's going to play you?
Danny Trejo would be me.
You'd be Danny Trejo. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Arnold Schwarzenegger would be Sam. That was mine. No, that's Sam.
I could see that. Yeah, sure.
Definitely.
Absolutely. Yeah, he's got that ruggedness to him. Yeah.
He just needs to add about like 100 pounds.
Feel muscle.
Feel muscle. And I would, of course, be Matthew McConaughey.
All right.
Or
all
Dave
right.
Mustaine.
Or Dave Mustaine.
All right. Yeah.
This is one I haven't thought about very much.
Do you want me to go back to it?
I say Danny Trejo.
I'd
Danny Trejo.
See, you laugh.
It's fucking brilliant, man. That's brilliant. And I see the Dave Mustaine, by the way.
Yeah.
All you got to do is just put your head down and dun 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 dun.
We are on the road here with Dave Mustaine's bastard child. We are trying to find his father. If you have any clues as to his whereabouts, please let us.
Dude, you said you weren't going to talk about that.
So, can you think of an actor? Or, I mean, actress too. I don't care. No judgment.
Oh, actress.
You never know.
Probably say Ian McKellen. He's a wizard, right? So
Yeah, exactly.
That would work. That would be perfect.
Matt Damon.
Matt Damon. All right.
Matt Damon.
So it'd be like the identity wizard or the born wizard.
Oh yeah. But probably I don't know, like Seth Rogen, but he might be a little busy being the front man for Red Fang and all. So.
Oh shit.
I'm pretty sure Red Fang has played Missoula a couple times. They're about 2 hours south of us. That's where it's college town. University of Montana's there.
Right.
And we had the pleasure of playing with them one time. And I'm pretty sure we had asked him if he had gotten the Seth Rogen joke before.
Sure.
One of the cool things we did ask them about, though, is if you look in their video for Prehistoric Dog, or is it Prehistoric Dogs?
That's prehistoric
Is it plural or
dog.
it's singular? Okay, so Prehistoric Dog, they're all playing in their little kitchen area, you know.
Okay.
And they have a license plate leaned up in the windowsill, and it's Montana with a 4 starting it out, and that's a license plate for Missoula. And we asked them about that, and they were like, "Oh yeah, we just rented that house, and that was just there, so we decided to keep it in the video." And then they played Missoula sometimes, and it was just like, "Oh, cool."
Everything, the universe came together.
Yes, everything just aligned at the right time.
But yeah, we love Seth Rogen. He's doing great things with Red Fang.
Well, good for him. I'm sure. And he also has a little bit of a movie career too.
Yeah, we're excited to go see him act on stage as the singer of Red Fang at Psycho Las Vegas this year.
Now, so these two questions are from previous bands, and then if you have a question for the next band, that would be great.
All right.
Let's see. The first question is from the guys in Destroyer of Light.
Oh, we just met Steve the other night.
There you go. And the question is, and they said, please be specific. Oh, yeah. Star Trek or Star Wars? Pick one.
All right, yep, you know this.
Star fucking Wars.
And
but
why?
the old EU before Disney, fucking Disney, they suck fucking dick.
We're gonna get
Disney,
We're gonna get a cease and
Great.
Disney
my
sucks
sponsorship
dick.
with Disney is in jeopardy.
How could you do that to
They
Chris?
they
terrible.
fucked Luke Skywalker. They fucked Star Wars. They suck
Hey,
ass.
no spoilers.
They fucked you too.
Well, he was a willing participant, so what do you look.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Hey man, I watched the interviews with him afterward, and he was pretty fucking pissed off.
Okay, Star Trek or Star Wars?
Definitely Star Wars. I mean, my dad was a Trekkie. My
Right.
dad still is a Trekkie. My dad is also huge into Star Wars, but it's like when you're in a household where it's kind of both. I can't really say one or the other more so, but I'm definitely more of a fan of Star Wars than I have been of Star Trek. I can appreciate Star Trek, and I've watched a lot of Star Trek with my dad.
Sure.
So I love it, and I really like it, and I'm just big fans of sci-fi overall. But if I had to choose one that I was more, involved and like invested in, would definitely be the Star Wars franchise. But
Okay.
definitely fuck the new movies.
Fucking the movies. Check. Yes, sir.
I think you're going to get a pretty across-the-board answer here. I grew up with Star Wars, so
Okay.
I mean, just 4, 5, and 6. Those are the good ones. And then I like to refer to the old canon as the extended universe, and the new stuff where Disney tossed all that shit out the window and made their own stuff. That's the alternate universe in my mind. Mm-hmm. So a lot of the comics and shit in the alternate universe are pretty cool, but the extended universe was still way better. But I will say that I have been watching a little bit more Star Trek recently.
Okay.
I watched the original version of Wrath of Khan. And
Khan!
and that shit at the end where Spock is just like, I have and always will be your friend. That did get me, I will say. So I can definitely appreciate Star Trek, but we're a Star Wars family here.
All right. So maybe I don't even have to ask you. I guess it's Star Wars, all right? Nobody's
answer
going to
is
keep on
ditto.
trekking over here, huh? All right. And the next question was presented by the band members in Cough.
No, fuck yeah.
It's very simple. It's like, why the fuck do you do this?
Iomi.
Okay.
I do this because metal.
Very insightful, Sam. Thank you.
He's a man of few words right now. All right.
I don't know where I would be in life without music. Mm-hmm. So that's why I do this. I've been raised with music my whole life. I have family that's involved professionally with music, and I'm happy to do this with friends, really, really good friends, and making kick-ass fucking music.
Right.
So it's just for the love of it, everything in general, the whole experience, everything.
It's your life.
It is my life.
Okay.
I wouldn't be anywhere without it.
And sir?
Music has been a very large part of my life. I mean, started out in the orchestra, like all the way up from middle school, and it just kind of stuck since then. And recently, of course, there's always conflicts with jobs back home and wanting to tour.
Sure.
And when we went on tour last year, there was this job that wasn't willing to let me go and come back because it was a month long, you know, so that's kind of tough.
Right.
And I was kind of talking to my mom about it, and she said, you know, sometimes when you do something, if you're meant to do it, it's going to be easier for you. And it's kind of this idealistic thing that she said, you know, but it kind of holds a lot of truth and rings with me, because I mean, we've been on tour 4 times now, all of varying lengths, from a week all the way up to a month long.
Sure.
And we've done it by ourselves. We've done it with another band one time. And every single time, the thing that sticks out the most is that we never really have any hardship. The most hardship I hear from tour is coming from other bands, like, oh, we had to cancel XY show because of Z situation. And, you know, we've lost the tread on our trailer. Last year when we were coming through Texas, we lost the tread on it, and we had to go get the tire changed at a U-Haul that was on a Sunday. That was like barely open long enough to do it, and we still made the gig.
Yeah.
This last time, the battery and the alternator both went out in my dad's truck, and we had to stop off. But it happened like a mile outside of a little town called Wairika in California. And so we got the tow. The guy was saying, you know, oh, well, this shop may not be able to fix it. And I was like, just take me to the auto parts store. We got it fixed, showed up to the gig like, 2 hours late, and everybody was still there. So it just keeps happening for us. And it just feels like it's meant to be.
But you're bringing it, and you want it.
Yeah, and it's fun.
If you want it,
honestly.
you'll find the way to do it.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, like, just the fact that it's fun. I mean, that's why I want to keep coming back and doing it. I like seeing the smiles on people's faces and bringing people joy. That's definitely something that I like to do.
Right on.
And I guess I would say beyond just Iomi for me. Praise Iomi.
Praise Iomi.
Praise be unto him.
Praise be.
Beyond just that, I mean, music has always been something I've enjoyed listening to, playing for a long time. But on top of that, doing this would be playing our music, going out and doing the tour.
Right.
And to me, it's something that I love to do for multiple reasons. For one, because it really challenges me. For two, because it gets me outside of the place that I live. You know, it breaks the mold.
Sure.
for 3, it just is fucking a ton of fun. It's the only thing that I find myself really enjoying to do. And I find myself in between the spaces just thinking about the next time I'm going to go out and do this again.
Right, right.
And so I guess it's just that drive that makes me want to do it.
All right. Oh, yes?
The most important part of this stuff to me is that people can appreciate music that is original. We write our own music in our basement, and it means a lot when people can headbang the stuff that we make. We're really passionate about the stuff that we do. And, it takes a lot of effort to come out and do this stuff for people. And when people headbang and rock along the stuff that we make, that's what we're all about. That's the only thing that we care about.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, like when someone else really appreciates it, let me get a little bit more word salad there. When someone else appreciates the art that you create, that makes a big difference. That
Right.
really makes it worthwhile, and that's really cool. And even if people really don't, fuck that. Who gives a shit? We're here to have fun.
And you're enjoying it.
Exactly.
That's all there is to it. So,
Overall, enjoyment.
enjoyment.
Enjoyment of music.
Having a good old knee-slapping time.
And
Yeehaw.
praising Iomi, of course.
Praise Iomi.
Yes, praise Iomi.
Praise be.
Praise be. And so, any questions for the next band? Yes. Oh,
Have you heard the good word of Iomi?
That was going to be mine. Okay. I have another one.
Influences?
okay.
Seems like a solid question.
What is the single most wild story you have relating to your band, whether it be tour, regular show at home, starting, recording, like the single most wild, out there thing that has ever happened to you as a band, ever?
Okay, and before I go, I don't know. This went back a ways. I interviewed the guys from Red Wizzerd. I don't know why this question sticks in my head. It was Miles that came up with this grand question. Where was the worst place you had to take a shit on tour?
That is a fine question.
It's,
There's a
well,
lot of shitty gas stations out there.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
a lot of shitty gas stations we've been to, especially.
but there's some
kind of
good,
like in
you
the-
get some Love, you get some Pilot, there's some good ones.
Here at Tempe, there ain't no door in the shitter, man. Everybody
No, okay,
walks
so
in,
let me,
sees me
all right,
shitting.
let's just get a solid on this one so we can, if you need to float the brown trout or whatever, I wouldn't go on the right side. Go on the left,
which is a
because
personal bathroom.
It's personal. There's enough room to stretch your legs.
Yeah, that's
You
what
could
I
just-
immediately noticed. I went to the other side. I was like, I wonder if there's another bathroom. Lo and behold, there was one.
And it is so much better. It's far beyond. It doesn't flood.
Exactly.
It's
It's
fantastic.
fantastic.
So
Did you not?
I just bit the bullet. And shit in the one without the door.
Oh.
When you gotta go, you gotta go,
Yeah.
I mean, I've taken shits in a lot worse places. It was like high heat of August in Death Valley in a porta potty with the military. I've done that before, so that was, by comparison, it was pretty easy. But
Right. Well, here's just a side. So next time you're here, go on the left, and
Yeah, next time.
and
It'll
it'll
definitely be next time.
Let's hope, gentlemen. I want to wish you much success, health, wealth, and happiness on the tour, and I will talk to you next time.
Thank you so much, Chris. We appreciate it.
Take care, guys.
You see, man's rather dismal creature. Why not? Look around. You'll see what's there. Fear and frightened people who kill when they can't understand.
big thanks to all the guys in Wizzerd. I can't wait to see you again on tour. I know we're going to bump into each other at one event or one venue or a festival somewhere sometime. Can't wait to do it. Until that time, let's hear one of the tracks that was discussed. This is Wizzerd. Now, not Wizzard, but Wizzerd. And this was a tour-only release until they have everything finalized and worked to the way they want to have it. Until that time, this is a show closer. This is Wizzerd. What a great year we've had for the band Sleep. We get a full release in the Sciences. And just before that, not too long ago, we had the Clarity. And now we have this epic track called Leagues Beneath. I just got the LP today, or I don't even know if it's an LP. Well, it's an album. It's one song on one side, and then the other side has like a really amazing looking etching. And I got it through Third Man Records, and I got a cool little poster with it. You know, like one of those kind of concert style posters that you see when you're on tour. I think it's like a 11 by 17 or 12 by 18, one of those. I hope everybody else got one, and it has the marijuana, I guess you could say, or the astronaut. And it says the Sciences on it, so it's really kind of cool. I'll be hanging it up on my wall. And hey, enough of me. Let's hear the track. This is Leagues Beneath by Sleep. Thanks, everybody, for hanging out towards the end. doomtombpodcast at gmail.com is how to reach us. The band Burn Ritual reached us, and they want to get an interview underway, so we'll get that out as soon as we interview them, basically. I'm just going through their material right now. They're a band based out of Texas, so we just went over some stuff that we're going to talk about, and that'll be a real good interview, I'm sure. Also, we have the band Source, we have Via Vengeance, we have Pink Cocoon, we have the band Worshipper, and so many others coming up. So if there's anybody you want to hear, let us know. Also, talk to me, man. Send me a line. Tell me about some venues that you like. I think I might put something up on social asking people, see what kind of response we get. So until that time, the next time, the meantime, the in-between time, enjoy yourselves, keep going to the shows, buy some band merch every once in a while, and don't forget to stay heavy.